everyone, and welcome to Natique in Elk Grove, California, and NatiqueYarns.com, coming to you live on a slightly wet winter day for us here in Northern California. We've had a little bit of rain again, nothing crazy. They were threatening storms. I'm like, okay, save that for Sunday afternoon.
Right?
When I can sit inside and drink coffee and knit. That's all I want for Christmas is the
I know, right?
behave itself. I know I'm a weirdo. Okay, let me pop some links in here ahead of myself because I always kind of almost forget the prize drawing ones. There we go. I'll be ahead of the game here and then I won't forget. So we have a lot to cram into this morning's video, so I am going to try to be a little bit quick with the prizes so that we can get into the good stuff. Not that prizes aren't good stuff, but you see these every day. So we have for our grand prize the pattern Rapido, which is the 3-stranded fingering weight project, bringing it up to a bulky weight gauge on size 10.5 needles. Which means super fast knitting, something that you could even still get done in time for holiday gifting. Unless maybe don't do the infinity size.
Yeah.
Do the small one. You have enough yardage in the prize though for the infinity size because we have 3 full skeins of fingering weight yarn. And we have Alexandra's Dark Side of the Moon in Moonbeam Purple Rain. I'm sorry, I know one of you gets this song stuck in their head every morning. I apologize. Then we have Smushy Cashmere in Lavender Bloom. And Noro Silk Garden Sock in the very fancy name of S205. Pretty pinks and purples kind of palette for this one. Look at all the pretty pinks hiding in the Noro. So you hold one strand of each together to give you this overall marled fabric. Which basically, by holding 3 colors together, you create a new color. It's very fun if you've never done it. I highly recommend it. And how you get entered into the grand prize drawing is every time you make a purchase from the 1st through the 15th of December, you're going to get 1 entry. It's cumulative, so if you purchase 2 times, you get 2 entries. If you purchase 10 times, you get 10 entries. And it includes purchases made here in the boutique, online at NatiqueYarns.com, and even over the phone with us. And then on Friday the 16th, we will draw to see who the winner is. Oh, the Noro is calling you? It does do that.
I can hear it.
This one might too, because it is also Noro, and it is good at being kind of loud and saying, love me, take me home. So this is a fun daily prize. We haven't done this one as a prize before, but this is one of our crochet patterns, Niveau Savant. If you're a beginner crocheter or want to be a beginner crocheter, this is in the beginner friendly project. This is actually the second project that we do when teaching people to crochet. It is part of our Hooked on Crochet on Demand classes. This is class 2 if you need help learning how to do it. But very fun. Easy pattern. It's a stitch called a crazy shell that does these little diagonal blocks. And it is super fast and easy to do. And we've paired it with a 1/2 skein of Noro Tsubame, which means you have enough to do the smaller size, which is the cowl instead of the scarf. And you can basically go till you run out of yarn. So you could probably make this a little bit longer because a 1/2 skein of Tsubame is about 300 yards and the cowl calls for 200. So you could pretty easily just go till you run out of yarn because this one you actually work like you're making a scarf back and forth and then you just seam the ends together. And seaming in crochet is super easy. Just whip stitch it.
Done. Super fast. Such pretty colors.
Right? And how you get entered into the daily drawing.
We're all fine.
We meant to do that. It's the magazines. That's all. How you get entered into the daily drawing is by doing what lots of you are already doing, interacting with the video. So if you react with any of these, which we may need to go, wow, Anna just destroyed this shop. So any of those reactions get you 1 entry per click. If you comment on the video, you get 5 entries per comment. And then if you share the video to your stories, to your friends, to a group, wherever you share, you just come back to the video and comment shared to and where. And that's going to get you 11 entries per share. It's not that bad. And then we go the next day to see who the winner is. So today's prize winner is going to win based off of yesterday's video interactions. So we'll come over to our handy dandy comment picker and see who it is.
Denise Reinhardt, congratulations. So if you win a prize in your local, you get to come see us in the boutique and let us know you have a prize, and we will get it from the cabinet. If you win and you're not local, just tell us in the notes next time you make a purchase that you have a prize, and we will include it in your shipment. We still have Normal magazines. Can't show them to you now because that's what fell down. But there are still some here. And this yarn is still speaking to me.
Normally I save throwing stuff on the floor for Tuesdays.
Oh.
But, you know,
Look, there's one here. There we go. See?
it's a
I
special,
still have
it's
some.
a special day. It's a Tuesday kind of Friday.
Ah, my goodness.
You can't take me anywhere.
We didn't take you anywhere.
I know.
We
I took
brought you
myself,
here.
And, you know, I can't take me anywhere either. It's a thing.
Yeah. We still have some of our yummy bonbon chocolates. I almost said ice cream. I'm like, no, this is not ice cream. This is some yummy chocolate.
You could probably enjoy those with ice cream.
I know, right?
Okay, so if you guys follow us on any form of social media or signed up for our newsletter, you may know that we've started something called the 12 Days of Local Love. What that is as your local yarn store, we want to help you guys love on your family, your friends, yourself, by giving you deals that you can save a few pennies on, quite a few pennies on a lot of them, to have yarn for projects or maybe gift to someone who's learning to knit or crochet. There will be some gifts, but every day is a different item for 12 days. And so you'll get an email, it'll be posted on our Facebook, our Instagram, our stories. It's everywhere. We want to make sure you don't miss it. So, of course, we're going to talk about it on the video too. So today's deal is the Scrumptiously Soft.
Okay, that one was me.
The Scrumptiously Soft Juniper Moon Farm 14, which is called 14 because it is made with a 14 micron count merino, which means it is a super soft merino wool, and then the finest cashmere, which brings it even softer. It is a chainette construction, so you have this lightweight, fluffy material that you get out of this one, and it is 147 yards of a heavy worsted, consider it kind of an Aran weight, that sort of thing. So a little fluffier than something like Rios would be. And it's so soft and lightweight. The chainette construction actually makes it warmer because it creates these little air pockets that trap the heat or the cold so that you stay warm. This gorgeous color up front here is color 16 Copper, which is a pretty rust orange. And this is on sale. It was originally, you can see the little sticker right there, so we didn't take them off. Originally $22.99. It is now only $12.99 for one skein. And the projects I'm going to share with you guys this morning for it are ones that are going to be like a few skein projects at the most. Nothing, no sweaters, because we know it's not bless you, sweater knitting season. It is quick project knitting season. So we are going to share quick projects on this luscious yarn that I kind of can't believe we're letting go for this price. There is sweater quantity of one color that, well, there's more than one that there's sweater quantity, but there's sweater quantity of one particular color that is talking to me. It's not this one. This is number 17, Gold Spire. Susan inherited my sneezes.
Hopefully I'm done.
We've got pretty copper, sunflower yellow. Continuing in the bold colors, we have color 20, Aquarium. It's aquarium spelled wrong. It has a C in it. And then last but not least of the bold colors is color 5, Emerald Lake. This beautiful spring green.
I have to say the copper would be my favorite in this batch. I bet the yellow is yours.
Yes, sunflowers. I think part of why I like sunflowers so much, they were like one of the only flowers that you could grow in Montana because they grow so fast that a short growing season works out. Okay, so first up on the suggested projects for this yarn, we have the Portland cap, which is this really fun, like ribbed cable. It looks like it's the same cable as our Doth cowl, D-A-T-H. But they just did one of them instead. We did like one and then some ribbing again and a second one. So you could make a matching set if you wanted. But you can easily get this hat out of one skein, even nice and slouchy like this. Because this one only calls for 109 yards, size 10 needles. That tells you it's going to be a super fast knit. Which, let's face it, we all need some super fast knits. So that is the Portland cap by Mary Pranica. And look, it's a free pattern. So look, you're saving even more money by not even having to buy a pattern. Then,
my favorite.
Surprise, surprise, that this one turned up in the bundle because Susan helped me prep link ninjaing this morning. And architecture, I know you've knit the shawl. Have you knit the cowl?
I have not yet.
We gotta fix that.
I know, right? It's definitely on my list.
But really fun. You've got ribbing with this. It looks like it starts at the bottom and decreases because that looks like a decrease line. So you actually then, that means you start down here, a little garter stitch, then some seed stitch, then some garter stitch, and ribbing. Nothing too complex, but you get this beautiful bandana shaped cowl. Here it is in a pretty white. And this one is going to be only 2 skeins.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
what size needle?
$25 for a cowl. That's not bad at all, especially with cashmere. Size 8 and 9 needles. So still going to be in the very fast knit category.
Especially with this yarn because it feels so good.
Yeah, there's nothing more satisfying than knitting with super soft yarn. Okay, one more and then I'll show you guys more colors. This is the Simone cowl. This is a fun 2-color project with garter stitch, some slipped stitches, nothing too intricate on your stitches. I appreciate that it's much shorter in the back than the front. So this is one of those that you knit flat and seam, which is very easy to do. So I always think it looks like a home plate.
It does, yeah.
You seam them together. But I appreciate that even in like the main pattern pictures, they show you like the layout of how does this puppy go together to magically make this? Because sometimes it's like, wait, how am I knitting a cowl flat?
I'm gonna
This one.
This one.
This one.
Yeah, so this is the same format of one. Well, I did 2 of them recently, and if even this is too much for the back of your neck, just seam the 3 inches and leave this open.
Yeah.
It totally works.
Like a vent.
Yeah, I think I have it in the back, but
We'll post pictures.
Yeah, I'm like that's too much on the back of my neck. I'm just gonna do 3 inches, and it worked.
So this one would take, let's see, 350, basically 2 skeins each of your colors, of your 2 colors. You might be able to get away with one of each and maybe make it a little smaller somewhere, but I'm not sure where you would modify it. Oh, yes, I am sure. Let me go to the home plate picture.
Yeah.
If they tell you to do the work even instructions essentially for 6 inches, do 3.
Yeah.
And then you could get it out of 1 and 1.
It's going to start in this corner.
Oh,
and so you could just like right here.
There, and then switch to, you'd follow
the shaping there.
Like you'd skip to this stripe and then go to maybe there and then continue essentially as written. We could help you modify it if that sounds scary as all get out.
Yeah.
It's in the clear as mud category. Just come on in, call us, etc. We'll help you adjust Simone to fit 1 and 1. Because I am thinking that it would look really pretty in these 2.
Ooh, yes.
Midnight, which is the black, and Dreamscape, which is the kind of pewter gray. Like that would be nice and high contrast, which is really what you want in color work like that.
Yeah, from my view, the gray is more accurate when I'm this far out.
Yeah, it's funny. Today the camera seems to be making everything a little yellow-green. It's like it's picked up the stormy skies outside.
Right? I don't know, maybe it's reflecting off what I'm wearing. Could be.
I don't know. We just roll with it. You guys know that.
It's all color pretty.
Then, we're going to run out of room. We have a pretty kind of olive-y taupe color called Mocha. We were joking this morning that it's mocha with turmeric in it. Mocha is not usually an olive-y tone. I wouldn't drink my mocha if it was olive green, but it's a beautiful yarn.
Oh yeah, the gray with any of the other colors?
Yes, like you could do it with orange, green, teal, sunflower. Then we have a beautiful powder blue, which is aquamarine. We have aquarium and aquamarine. They do have pictures on the website, so if you're like, wait, which one was aquarium? Click on it, it'll tell you. I promise. Then we have a gorgeous soft blush pink called Peony.
Okay, I want those 2 together.
That'd be pretty.
Sorry, earthquake.
Subtle,
just hit the phone.
More subtle but pretty. And if you're ever not sure of if your colors go together, like this last one, Nebula, if we put Nebula with these, you can kind of imagine that they're all the same tone. But if you're ever not sure, take a picture, go in and edit it, and take all the saturation out so it's black and white. If there's no contrast, when you make it black and white, your color work is not going to show very well. That's the trick. And since we all have smartphones now, might as well put them to good use. Make color selection easier. I know there's like 1 too many colors to get a nice little square. And I did link a few more projects for you guys that would work with this yarn. We have the Hillview Road cowl, which is a really fun stitch pattern. It's like all over texture. It reminds me of that pass the stitch over pattern that my sweater was yesterday, but there's no yarn overs in it. So it's very intriguing.
It might be a slip one, knit one, yarn over, then pass the slip stitch over.
Yeah. So that the yarn over gets
hidden
back out of it, basically.
Yeah.
But it's just such a pretty texture. They did a twisted rib. Very fun, fast, and easy. You can see even in a dark color, the texture still shows because it's just kind of an all-over woven look. And this one is only going to take 2 skeins as written. It does appear to be super tall. Oh, yeah. Finished cowl measures approximately 10 by 11. So It's either 10 or 11 inches tall because I'm not sure which measurement they put first. It's pretty tall, so you could get away with this being a one skein wonder if you prefer a shorter cowl. Then we have a fun color work project for those of you who are Fair Isle fanatics like myself. This is the Milky Way cowl, which is this really pretty like Norwegian snowflake stitch pattern. Kind of has a quilted look by the little squares that they did around it. You can see they did reverse colors, which is kind of fun to see the difference. In the blue background, they look more, the snowflakes stand out more, but in the brown background, these little squares behind them stand out more.
Funny.
So it's like a totally different cowl.
It's almost the opposite for me. I hadn't even noticed the little square on the top one. That's funny. I just see the flowers.
Depending on what
snowflake
color draws your eye is what you'll see. And this one is going to be one skein each of your two colors, even on the larger size, so you could easily do the reverse cowl trick too. And look, another free pattern.
Yeah, the previous cowl was free also.
Yeah, we did lots of free ones this morning, on accident really. But it helps you guys save even more because then the pattern's not costing you anything. Okay, last one for the Daily Deal yarn. This is the Salted Pretzel hat. They really do look like pretzels.
It does. It's a great name.
Just a little bit of 1x1 ribbing for the brim, and then you have this really fun cable pattern that won't let me zoom. Nope. Nope, we're not talking to me. Okay, fine. But you have this like seed stitch background in between the cables, which really makes them pop. This is a traveling cable, which basically means this line moves over instead of normally all your cables are kind of in a column together. It's a really fun technique to do. It's not any harder than regular cables. And this one, 2 skeins as written, but they did do a super tall brim. You can see even with the brim folded, it's not even pulled all the way down. So if you wanted to do more of like a beanie kind of fit, you could easily do it in 1 skein.
Sandy, I see your question about crochet cowls. I will try and add some to the collective when I put everything up there. I apologize. I was only filtered by knitting today. I missed a button.
Our Niveau Savant pattern that we gave away this morning would work for this yarn. But really, also, if you go on Ravelry and search by, I would search Aran weight instead of worsted. It's just a little bit heavier, typically a little bit bigger needle patterns, and crochet, and then filter by hot right now. You'll find
a
bunches
bunch
of them that are amazing. Anything by Moogly, it's like spelled googly with an M.
Awesome.
I highly recommend her patterns. She's a very good crochet designer. Her patterns are easy, and she's very good. She writes her tutorials for left-handed and right-handed. Like, she's a good person, especially if you're a beginner crocheter. Okay, then to the other yarn that we just got more kits in for, and we love this cowl out of it. So this is the
It's pinned in the middle.
Ellensburg cowl. Here, I'll flip it to this side.
There we go.
The Ellensburg cowl, which is a worsted weight pattern. I'll link it for you guys. It is a free pattern intended to be used with one of the kits that I'm about to show you guys. They are perfect for projects like this where you just want a little bit of each color and not a ton. I love all the stitch patterns on that one. It's very like Casapinka style to have all the different patterns.
It's funny, I think this one is my favorite.
Oh, the little
the dashes. I don't know why. Yeah.
So let me show you guys the color that one is out of first, which is the bundle known as Cool. And I'm gonna pop the pinned link in there for you guys. Switch it out from 14 to wool stock mini bundles. So this one has pretty like navy blue, denim, sky blue, powder blue, olive green, chartreuse, spruce. I think that's everybody.
I think so.
And this one, like you'll notice there's no gray in here. So what you do is you pair it with one skein of the wool stock worsted by itself. So I did link the bundles, but not this one because there's just too many links. But wool stock is spelled S-T-O-K for stock, not
Not
no
CK.
C. No C required.
I
So
see.
one bundle and one skein equals one Ellensburg cowl.
Comments are flying. I missed
Oh,
some.
yeah. Yep. Thank you, Darla, for putting in the spelling for Moogly, for Sandy. Seriously, you'll love her patterns. When I started crocheting, I started out on a bunch of hers because they're well written. I love them. Can't go wrong. Okay, if you're more of a warm color person, we have the fabulous and fun Fire and Ice kit, which has a little bit of warm and cool. You've got your kind of barn red, almost cranberry, some rust, some marigold, some more of like a brick red, the kind of teal denim, a sky blue, and then this like lilac blue lavender. And these are 100% Highland Peruvian wool, which does mean it's also something you can use for felting projects, but it's super soft. Each mini is 12 yards, but you have 252 yards total. So there are lots of projects that are only one kit, which I do have a couple to show you guys. This is another one where you would potentially pair the kit with a full skein of the wool stock worsted. They did like the background, the garter stitch section all in a solid color. And then you have this fun little slip stitch colorwork section that I seriously thought it was crochet when I first clicked on it. And it's not. It's knit one belows, you guys. They're super easy. And they pull up the color in a different way, so it adds dimension and texture to the fabric. I like the cowl tied this way. It makes it, because it's a super long cowl, you can see it's an infinity loop, so it makes an infinity loop look more like you've tied your scarf. Super easy. And this one, total yardage is 205 yards, so you could easily do the whole thing with just a bundle. And just keep doing that whole stitch pattern the whole time and skip the garter stitch. That's probably what I'd do. I'd probably cast on maybe twice as wide too. It's a little skinny. That is the Band of Color cowl. Then we have the Shift cowl. Oh, that one snuck in there, Susan, because that one's fingering weight.
Oh, I tried to take those out. Okay, but it's really pretty anyway.
But you could, I'm going to say, you could cast on half as many stitches on like, I'd do size 7 and 9 needles probably. Maybe 6 and 8.
Yeah.
6 and 8. Let's go 6 and 8. So half as many stitches, 6 and 8, do it in worsted. And just do like, you know, they repeat this pattern section 8 times, only do it 4 times. Like cut everything in half. Voila. You could do it anyway. Then we have this Lexington cowl. This is the one you're obsessing over.
I know, I am.
This one is another one that while it's written for worsted or for sport weight, we could change it to worsted. Very easy. This is a cast on an even number of stitches kind of project. So I would do like size 8 needles, maybe 9 on this one because it's linen stitch, which
Yeah.
one tends to knit linen stitch a little bit tighter. So maybe size 9 needles, 1 bundle, go till you run out of yarn.
Yep.
And we can give you a number to cast on based on one of our other worsted weight patterns. So I would do it anyway because you can. You are the master of your knitting, not the other way around. Oh yes, the Andrea Mowry shift cowl would also work with these bundles. There's too many things with the same title.
Yeah, I think that one's DK as well. So I almost got that one. I'm like, no, that's the wrong weight. But
bump it up 1 more needle size too.
Yeah.
I'm going rogue today on all the patterns. Just change the needle size. It's fine. Then we have this fun color combo
that's the new one, I think.
I'm not sure the name of it because it kind of cut it off a little bit, but it's pretty fall colors. You've got marigold, taupe, avocado, olive, this kind of like fawn, pumpkin orange, creamy white. Did I get everybody? Really good fall colors in this one. I like this one a lot. It might actually be called fall, but the label cut it off. You can only see a straight line. Let me click on our link and see.
I'll have to change the description. But
Fall Festival.
There we go.
See, I knew fall was in there somewhere.
It's a perfect little bouquet, too.
Right?
Should have done that when I got married way back when, right?
I have seen people like with knit or crocheted bouquets. It's a lot of work for a one-day thing.
There.
I think I'd have to display it in the house for the rest of my life, you know? Okay, and last but not least in the bouquets, we have neutral. So if you don't want a bunch of colors, you can do the neutral pack, which has like a dark espresso brown, that kind of fawn gray brown, the creamy taupe, the natural white, silver, pewter, charcoal. Very, very good neutral, goes with everything kind of palette. And then I have one more project I can show you guys out of this yarn. I want to link it for you. I actually physically have this one. I stole it off of Susan's chair this morning. This is the Fig Hill poncho, or it could be a convertible wrap if you choose not to seam it. But it is done with a solid color and then 2 mini skein bundles, and you can either magic knot them together or cut and weave in ends, whatever way makes you happy. I tend to just tie them, and I know you didn't do this, I know you magic knotted, but I tended to tie them and leave like little 1/2-inch long tails everywhere with the color change, because then it's nice and secure. The knot can hide out on the back of the fabric. You can always poke it through if it tries to be on this side.
You know, I kind of like this side better now. That's funny.
Yeah, because it blends the colors a little bit more. So, look, you can make it totally reversible, too. You can have it purl side out one day, knit side out another day. But this one, you just do 3 little stripe sections with the solid blocks in between. It's knit a row, purl a row, so it's very good therapy knitting. Especially if you pre-magic knot your colors together.
Yeah.
Then you can just keep going. If you've never done a magic knot, Google it. It's the coolest thing ever.
It's awesome.
And with 100% wool yarn like this, it holds beautifully. You wouldn't want to do it on a slippery yarn. Like, don't do it with silk.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hold on the slippery stuff. But on a 100% wool yarn like this, it will hold beautifully. This is the Fig Hill pattern, which is one of our Natique patterns.
I need to make another one with the opposite, 3 solid sections and 2 striped sections.
So you can totally change it up.
Yeah.
It's your knitting. There are no rules.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. And if anybody tries to tell you otherwise, just cut them out. You don't need that negativity in your life. Okay, I managed to actually pull off talking about all of that fast enough that we can still talk about classes. So we'll pop over and talk about our first class, which is tomorrow, December 10th. It's weird to say already.
Yeah.
This is the Mosaic Trees hat, which is done in 2 colors of DK weight yarn. We used Alexandra's Nisa, which has a little cashmere in it for added softness and warmth. This one will teach you how to do the mosaic stitches. There's slips, there's knits, there's purls. It's nothing too elaborate. And then you just have a little bit of pre-work of doing the ribbing on your hat before class. If you don't have time to do it between now and tomorrow, don't worry, the class is recorded. You'll get the recording after class is completed if you're already signed up, and then you can watch it anytime. And then later we will make it available on demand, so if you can't get to the computer to sign up today, that's okay. It'll be available. Never worry. Then on Tuesday the 13th, we have the Eyelet Drops shawl class. This one is a crescent shawl with an eyelet pattern and a fishnet lace pattern done out of fingering weight yarn. And in class, we're going to teach you how to do the crescent shaping in the eyelets. And then on a little practice piece, we're going to teach you how to do the fishnet lace. Then on Friday, December 16th and 30th, we have the Drop to Stitch shawl. This one is another crescent shawl, but with a kind of fun garter rib stitch pattern that we'll teach you in the first session. And then in the second session, we're going to teach you how and where to drop the stitches, to let them run, pick them back up, and then do the mesh lace border and the picot bind off. It does only call for 1 skein of fingering weight yarn, so if the color you love with, there's not a beaded silken sequins to match, don't worry. You have enough yardage to do it as long as you've got 400 yards of fingering. Then on Saturday, December 17th, we have the 1 skein boomerang shawl out of our gorgeous Natique color that is exclusive from Art Yarns. This is Athens in the beautiful pinks and blues. This one, we're going to teach you how to do the eyelet stitch pattern, the double wrap drop stitch pattern, and the boomerang shawl shaping. Then on Tuesday, December 20th, we're going to do the color contradiction cowl from 11 to noon. This one is done with 2 colors of bulky weight yarn. The higher contrast, the better for this one, for that kind of square pattern to stand out even more. This one would actually be really fun to do in the 14, because even though it's technically a worsted, it's fluffy enough to knit at a bulky weight gauge, no problem. So it would be super fun, and then you would only need 1 skein each of 2 colors. Then on Wednesday, December 21st, we have the slouchy twist hat. I got to get another mannequin head out here for it, but this is a really fun slouchy hat with this twisted cable pattern on the border. We did ours out of 1 skein of the Juniper Moon Farm Saxony. We wanted you guys to have a project that you could do out of 1 skein because everybody should get to experience how luscious this yarn is. It's so soft. It gets softer when you knit it. It gets softer when you wash it, to where then you're like, excuse me while I just pet the fabric. Okay. That'll be it for now for classes. I've got one more on the calendar to sneak out, but it's not out here yet. So you guys will have to go snoop on the website and track down what I didn't tell you. Like a scavenger hunt. Okay, so then we will talk about what we were wearing, which thank you, Beverly. She said, love your sweater. This is a fun one. It would be really fun to add something sparkly to it.
Make another one.
Right? Throw some beaded silk and sequins in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I did think these would work nicely for it.
Oh, they
too,
would,
though,
yeah, for sure.
You just do each color till it runs out, or through 1 repeat of the little starburst pattern And then after you do your starburst pattern, it's all stockinette, knit, knit, knit. There's actually all your raglan shaping is done at the same time as the patterning, so then it really is all just knit, knit, knit at that point. Then there is a little bit of short row shaping to raise the back neck a little bit so that it sits forward, and it also lengthens the back, so it helps keep you from having that like drafty back, like it's longer in the back, but it doesn't look like it when you're wearing it. It's all hidden in the details. And then little seed stitch cuffs and hem. This one is worsted weight, so you could use Rios for the body to go with your mini skeins. Oh, hold on, I forgot my link. I thought you were gonna hold that for a second.
I could. This is Easy Collar Poncho from Art Yarns using 3 skeins of merino cloud.
One of our favorites.
Yeah, I like to get this one out of the drawer and wear it because
It's a go-to yarn
I like
around
these
here.
ponchos. Yeah, definitely the yarn.
But really fun, easy knit. You can see stockinette. There's some ribbing. So knits and purls. There's a little garter on the edge, I think. Yep. So you've got garter stitch. So you just put a marker at each end, and one row's all knit, and the other row's knit 3, purl the last 3, knit 3.
Definitely swatch for this one because if your gauge is not correct, it's not nearly as drapey and loose. I have one I need to rip out.
Oh no.
That was early in my machining. It's not very loose.
I'm kind of going with, other than blankets, the bigger the project, the more you should swatch, because
Yeah.
the more stitches that are involved, the more that error in math can change the size of it and the drape of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's going to be it, you guys. We'll get ready to open the store. We'll keep pulling your orders. We've had lots of orders for the 14 before we even got here this morning. So you guys were on it. And we'll be open at 11, and then we will see you guys again on Tuesday. Have a wonderful day. Bye.